Um, Last night, the defense was kind of a microcosm of the season. At times dominating, at times kind of disappeared. I mean, is it even confusing to you as a member of the defense just how inconsistent you guys have been this year?
Um, I mentioned this before. That has been like that. We've had moments where we play up to our competition and play down to our competition. But I feel like last night we struggled in the third quarter and we found a way to bounce back. But I mean, it's been happening all season. I mean, but at the end of the day, we did win.
And you and Chase were forces all night. When you think about him only being a sophomore, how good is he now and how good can he be?
I mean, his ceiling is super, super high. He is a kid with a lot of confidence and a lot of talent, and he's going to continue to enhance it even next year and the year before next, whatever he does, whether he stay or leaves. I mean, he's a talented kid. He's going to continue to grow. I mean, there's not much more I can say.
Third row left, Dan. Dre'Mont, were you surprised when you saw the rankings today and that you guys were 6 behind both Oklahoma and Georgia?
Yeah, I was a little surprised and a little bit disappointed because we expected to be in that playoff run and being 6-2 after a 2-loss team. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We played Washington, Pasadena, California, and I've never been to California before, so I'm excited.
How did this feel this year in comparison to last year, if you guys kind of being in the same situation, being left out of the Big Ten championship?
I mean, it's a little bit of deja vu moment. The only thing is we didn't have 2 L's. We both lost last year to, I'm not going to say mediocre teams, but teams that are decent, and we should have blown them out. I mean, I feel like we left our destiny in the hands of the committee instead of our own hands. So.
Right, Austin.
Dre'Mont, the way you guys celebrated last night, I mean, that was your main accomplishment for the year. Get to Indy, win in Indy. That's what you guys set out to do. When the playoff thing happens 12 hours later and you guys don't get in, does it take away at all the enjoyment or the celebration for what you guys did?
No, not at all, because this conference is super hard, and we have a lot of talented teams, and to be on the top of that, I mean, it's super surreal, and it feels good.
And as hard as that is, I mean, if you got to change it, would you think that all conference champions should be in? I mean, I don't know what you're – probably not going to be able to change it just because Dre'Mont Jones said so, but, like, it's hard. Like, there should be a reward for that, right?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I feel like it should be a reward, but at the end of the day, you got to live with the results. I mean, we did mess up at the beginning at the midpoint of the year. I mean, that's our fault.
Front row left, Steven.
Urban talked about the fact that when Nick Bosa went down with an injury, it really impacted the defense in a negative way a little bit. As a member of that defense, what do you think it did in any impact for you guys as a defense going on throughout the rest of the season?
I think you lose that lack of leadership. I mean, when you start off the year with 5 leaders and you end up with 4, and one of those leaders was a major impact on the team, not just the defense. I mean, it affects you a lot.
Was he still in any way in contact with you guys, still being an encouragement voice, even if he wasn't on the field?
Oh, yeah. I mean, outside of football, me and Nick are still friends. I still talk to him. Chase still talk to him. We all still talk to him. Nothing changed.
Front row right, Tim.
Yeah, Dre'Mont, I think with your sack last night, you have 8.5 sacks for the year. That's a half a sack more than Nick had last year. So did you fill the gap a little bit? I mean, how do you think y'all filled the void without Nick?
I think we just enhanced our game even more because I feel like at times, not knowing we relied on Nick to make a big play, and I feel like, like we don't got to do that. We have the capability and we have the talent to do some things he can't do.
But you personally, you seem to turn up the wick. I'm not saying you didn't play hard all the time, but you seem to turn up the wick in some really key moments, et cetera. Do you ever think about that? I mean, and is that an accurate statement that you just decide to make a play occasionally, just to have an impact?
I mean, that's just a personal goal of mine. Just this year coming back was just to enhance myself and enhance my game, period. So the fact that I got those opportunities and I took over those opportunities, that's just something that I've been trying to do all year.
And when I say Rose Bowl, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Like you said, you've never been to California, but this used to be the biggest reward you could get as an Ohio State football player is playing this game.
I think of those Reggie Bush days back in like 2005 and being a little kid watching him and not really understanding it, and then becoming a fan of the game and just understanding it more and more each year. I kind of know the totality of it.
Great. And final questions, front row left. Doug?
Dre'Mont, that it's happened 2 straight years to you guys that you have this loss in the middle of the year that you mentioned, right? It seems like in the end probably kept you out of the playoff. Whether you're around in the future or whether you're not here, what is the lesson? Is there a lesson that you would try to tell younger Buckeyes to say, I mean, of course you want to win every game. You guys go out every week and try to win. But that it happens sort of 2 years in a row. Is there anything that can be learned from this about, like, you've got to avoid a game like that? How do you avoid it?
Just remaining humble at all aspects throughout the year. I mean, we were definitely hot, coming in strong, and then we played Purdue. And then I'm not going to say we took them for granted, but we didn't really put a lot of emphasis like I thought we should have. And it definitely hit us in the mouth, and it humbled us a lot. But I feel like to get humbled, I feel like we shouldn't lose by 29 or 30 more points. So, I mean, that's our fault at the end of the day.
That you should be able to, right? That even, I guess even in a loss, right? It's like if you can try to find a way to keep it tighter or
Yeah,
whatever.
man, like, if we're going to lose, I don't want to lose by 29 or 30. I mean, at least make it close. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's our fault. We shouldn't have did that. I mean, that definitely was a deciding factor, I think.
Dre'Mont, thank you.
Thank you,
You
Dre'Mont.
plan to play in the Rose Bowl, right? Right?
We'll see.